Hello YouTube family, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. So, we'll go ahead and move the camera this way just a little bit. We have completed the Marvel Schebeler carburetor repair. To kind of recap over all these episodes, this was sent in by a viewer named Gene Shearer, and he reached out to me, or actually I reached out to him, and he had asked about help or whatever, and so I said, hey, send it to me. I've repaired carburetors that were broken out like this many a time on these old cast iron updraft carburetors. They're very, very common on lots of equipment, lots of Wisconsin engines, real popular on those 8N, 9N Ford tractors. So they've been around since the early to mid 30s all the way up until, I know, the last one I've seen is on stuff into the mid to late 70s, and that's when we all know everything started to change towards fuel injection. So would step up closer here. You guys have seen in the other videos everything that was done and the reasoning behind it. Again, there's a myriad of ways you guys could have done this, but you know, I've done this before and I know it works. So I'll go ahead and show you these. And to recap, the reason why we made one of these a little longer was because we wanted to be able to reach into material on the carburetor that was unbroken. So yes, it is a pipe tap, taper tap. This was 1/8, 27 thread per inch. This was actually 1/2 inch by 24, which is the end where your tubing and ferrule goes in and locks. And what I did is I actually cut 4 flats on that instead of trying to do the 6 or whatever. I just kept it simple. You know, you could slide a 1/2 inch wrench on there, a crescent. So I'm not going to put any thread sealant on there. Again, this originally did not have any type of washer or anything up front. I'm going to let him put whatever thread sealant he wants to on here. That's entirely up to him. It does fit in here rather well. And when I ship this, okay, and you snug it up there. I don't want to snug it too tight, but when I ship this, I'm not going to leave this in here because we all know how abusive the shipping companies can be. So we dressed all the flux off of it from doing the brazing and everything, and we could go and add more, and he is going to do some more blast beating on this. I went ahead and lapped it again on my granite plate and 600 grit just to make sure everything was still smooth. Same thing here. We just took and lapped it. That didn't come loose. That little jet was still okay. So all we did was rinse it off, carb cleaner, everything. So we're gonna let him go back and do all this blast beating and all that stuff. But as far as objective achieved, I noticed and was watching whenever I was oxyacetylene welding this, no more cracks appeared. Now, in past experience, what I've noticed is if you didn't get it all, and sometimes they're hard to see, they don't show up until you heat things up. Another crack, if it were in here, it would show up when you're starting to get to that cherry red point where you're about ready to put the brass on. If there's a crack, it'll show up right before you get to that real nice super hot point where I call it wet in the saddle. For those of you guys that oxyacetylene weld, you know what I'm talking about. You always keep it wet in the saddle when you're oxy welding, like with regular steel and stuff like that. And that's generally when the cracks show up. None of them showed up. So I was confident at that point when I was heating those up that I had removed all of the bad material or areas that were fractured. So we've got brass in there. I've had people ask about possibly using silicone bronze. Probably could have, but I went with what I knew worked and what I've done for a lot times in the past. And so we just you know, clean this up. It's a rough casting, you know. It's a carburetor, it's on a tractor. I think he said it's on a 1955 Avery is what it's going to be on that he's restoring. So we're going to let him do his blast cabinet deal and all that, and we'll package it back up and we'll get it out to you, Gene. Thanks again, and I hope everybody has enjoyed this little series. Yes, I know I could have edited it down, but I don't like editing. I like doing it all on camera. That way it's shoot and upload very easy. Because again, guys, this project took literally 5 times longer to do because I'm videoing it. In all reality, start to finish, I could have knocked this out in an hour, hour and a half. Actually, apart from the cool down time after you're letting it cool down, you know, that was several hours. I let that cool for 4 or 5 hours in the blanket. So aside from the cool down time, total time doing the grind out, welding, the prep, everything, hour and a half. Doesn't take long. The only thing is, don't rush the cool down. Let them cool down by themselves. So there we go. And the original one does still go in. Doesn't go in as far, which is fine. And we're going to send both the fittings back with this, so he can decide which one he wants to use. I'm presuming he's going to use the one I made, but if for some reason it doesn't fit exactly on the end there, he's got a mini lathe. He can open it up or do whatever he needs to do, or if he wants to put the old one back, he can put the old one back. It's entirely up to him. But thanks again, Gene, for the project. I got a lot of neat stuff coming up, and we're getting ready for the Summer Bash. Bar 16, Bar Z 2016 Summer Bash. A couple of weeks away, we're going to start getting stuff ready. I'm going to be taking a lot of tooling out there, guys and gals. Lots of stuff to buy, sell, trade, swap, all that good thing. Get around the welding table here. So looking forward to seeing everybody out there. I had a lot of people again still ask me about this grinder, so I will show it one last time, because apparently we've got some fast forward addicts out there. Hey, can you tell me more about that grinder in the last video, or the earlier? And I'm like, okay, so this will be your last chance, guys and gals. If you miss it, slow the video down and watch. So this is actually made by NSK. All right, there's your part number, information on it. They are not cheap. They are $400+ new. They come with a little you put a little pin in there to lock it. Here's the little deal for your wrench, and it takes standard 1/8" carbide. You can put on your selected air fitting. That's the little muffler for the air. Make sure you put oil in every time you get ready to use it, and you should not have any problems. It turns on and off right here. You just rotate that. Works really good. And there you go. So if you missed that in this video, the final video, slow down, rewind, watch it at normal speed. I've had a lot of you guys ask about it. They're really great die grinders. So if you can pick one up used, go for it. Like I said, I've had the import ones, and you'll be going along heavy on a project and you've oiled them and everything, and they just grenade. You know, you get what you pay for. I was lucky, and I got this one at a good price. But if you're doing a lot of grinding and dressing, or these are so handy. I mean, in a myriad of things: woodworking, metalworking, metal fab. Just the possibilities are endless. They're really great to have. And so one of my favorite bits is actually that teardropped carbide bit. Those are awesome. Those you can do a lot with. So there we go. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series. My public email address, eagledustoff37@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. My Instagram handle is my Instagram handle is eagledustoff37. My Twitter handle is @eagledustoff37. So you guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Spread the word about my channel, and make sure you click the like button down at the bottom. Constructive comments are greatly appreciated, you guys and gals. I will get back to you. If you don't do social media, shoot me an email. My public email address, eagledustoff37@gmail.com. Hope you've enjoyed the series, guys and gals. It's been enjoying giving it to you guys, and hopefully it has been useful. Depending on when you watch this years down the road, you know, I hope someone around learns from it, and that was the whole intent. By, yes, it was 6 episodes. I could have edited it down to 30 minutes, but I think a lot of valuable information and maybe techniques and stuff may have been lost in translation. So yes, it could have been shorter, but you know what? That's how I do my videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, you guys, be safe. Take care of yourself and take care of your family, because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Till next time, get out in the shop and make some chips. This stuff is fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.